Kanye West is no stranger to controversy, but the latest events surrounding him might just be the most dramatic yet. From lawsuits to serious allegations, Kanye's name is back in the headlines for all the wrong reasons. But what's really going on? Let's break it down because this is far more than just another celebrity scandal. First up, we've got a lawsuit filed by a former employee, known only as John Doe, who claims that Kanye had him doing far more than his actual job description. This isn't just about someone being overworked. The accusations are serious, and if they're true, they paint a picture of Kanye as a man wrapped up in paranoia and distrust. Doe says he was originally hired to be Kanye's director of intelligence. Now, just that title alone is enough to make you stop and think. What exactly does a director of intelligence do for someone like Kanye West? Well, according to the lawsuit, it wasn't typical work. The most alarming accusation: Doe claims that Kanye had him investigate his ex-wife, Kim Kardashian, and even follow his current wife, Bianca Censori, around the globe. And this is where things start to get really messy. According to the lawsuit, Kanye was deeply suspicious of Kim and her family to the point where he believed they might be involved in criminal activities. We're talking about accusations as serious as sex trafficking. Yes, you heard that right. Kanye allegedly believed his ex-wife was tied up in something this dark, and he tasked Doe with digging up dirt on her. So why would Kanye do this? What would drive him to hire someone to follow the mother of his children? This is where speculation comes in, and there are a few theories floating around. One possibility is that Kanye was trying to build a case for full custody of his kids. Maybe he thought that if he could prove something about Kim, it would help him win custody and reduce child support payments. But here's the thing. There's no evidence that Kim or her family are involved in anything criminal. So, was Kanye just being paranoid? Was this all part of a larger plan to discredit his ex-wife? And it wasn't just Kim who was being followed. Doe claims that Kanye also had investigators tail Bianca Censori while she was visiting family in Australia. Imagine being in a marriage where your spouse doesn't even trust you enough to visit family without someone tracking your every move. It's disturbing, to say the least. But this is just one part of the story. Things took an even darker turn when Doe says he discovered potential child abuse at Kanye's school, Donda Academy. Now, this is where you have to stop and think. If you were in that situation, what would you do? According to Doe, he reported the child abuse to Kanye's leadership team, but instead of taking action, Kanye allegedly blew up in anger. According to the lawsuit, Kanye responded with threats, telling Doe, "You're dead to me," and playing him an audio recording of what Doe described as scary voices. This, Doe says, triggered his PTSD from his time in the military. Imagine being in that position, working for someone who you thought would have your back, and instead, you get threatened. It's enough to make anyone reconsider their loyalty. Now, Doe is suing Kanye for emotional distress and unpaid wages, claiming that the tasks he was asked to do went far beyond his actual job description. As if that wasn't enough, Kanye is now dealing with an even more serious lawsuit. A former assistant, Lauren Pichiotta, has accused him of sexual assault. Pichiotta claims the assault happened during a studio session co-hosted by Diddy. Now, Diddy is another name that's been making headlines lately for all the wrong reasons, but we'll get to that in a bit. According to Pichiotta's lawsuit, Kanye gave her a drink during the session, and after a few sips, she started feeling disoriented. The next thing she remembers is waking up with no memory of what happened that night. Years later, Kanye allegedly told her that they had hooked up, which led Pichiotta to realize that she had been assaulted. This accusation isn't just a one-off incident either. Pichiotta had already filed a lawsuit against Kanye for sending inappropriate texts and making her feel uncomfortable in the workplace. In those texts, Kanye allegedly wrote things that were highly sexual, including messages where he fixated on her private life and made inappropriate comments. You might be wondering, could this all be connected to a larger pattern of behavior from Kanye? Now let's talk about Diddy. While Diddy isn't being accused in this particular lawsuit, the fact that the assault allegedly happened during a session he co-hosted raises questions. Diddy is currently facing his own legal battles, including accusations of sex trafficking and racketeering. So, does this mean there's a deeper connection between these two high-profile figures? Could Kanye's involvement in this studio session point to something larger happening behind the scenes? It's important to note that Pichiotta isn't accusing Diddy of any wrongdoing in this case. But still, it's hard to ignore the timing of all of this. With Diddy facing multiple charges and now Kanye being accused of assault during one of his events, it feels like we're only seeing the tip of the iceberg. And it's not just Pisciata who's speaking out. Attorney Tony Busby, who represents several victims in Diddy's ongoing legal battles, has hinted that other celebrities could be involved in similar cases. Could Kanye be next in line for more serious accusations? It's a question worth asking as more details continue to emerge. Now, we can't talk about Kanye without mentioning his mental health. He's been open about his struggles with bipolar disorder, and his erratic behavior has been well documented over the years. So, you might be asking, is Kanye's mental health playing a role in all of this? Could his actions be the result of a deeper mental health crisis? Now it's your turn. What do you make of all this? Do you think Kanye's behavior is a result of his mental health struggles, or is there something more going on here? And what about the connection to Diddy? Could this be part of a larger Hollywood scandal? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And before you go, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. We'll be keeping a close eye on this story as it develops, so stay tuned for more. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.